today. It is Tuesday, February 10th. We are in our week before February vacation, so I am very excited. Although when this video goes up, it'll be the end of February vacation, so I'll be getting ready to go back. But we are just finishing up our place value unit, so I thought in today's video I would go ahead and share 5 of my favorite games to play with students during our place value unit. All of these games are going to help students with that number sense of 10s and 1s. They're going to help students compare numbers, order numbers, add and subtract 10s, all of that good stuff. Most of them are partner games. A lot of my partner games students could play independently if you wanted them to. I prefer them playing with a partner so they can practice, taking turns, winning, losing, sharing, all that good stuff. But yeah, so I thought in today's video, that's what I would do. I'd go ahead and give us a quick little deep dive. If you are teaching place value, these would just be some fun games to add into the mix. So all that being said, let's just get started. All right, game number 1 is always a class favorite, and it's how I really like to kick off place value so students understand 10s and 1s and that kind of beginning regrouping. And it is called Race to 50. Super easy. Let me show you how to play. All right, all you need for this game is this little mat here. I have player 1 and player 2. This is in my place value pack. And all students do is we are getting to see how these numbers are made from 10s and 1s. That is the goal of this game. So when students play Race to 50, you can also play Race to 100 as they get to higher numbers. But when we're starting it off, I start with 50. So player 1 would roll the dice. 2. On their side, they go ahead and they take 2 cubes and they are unstacked and they put 1, 2. Next player, 3. Same thing on this side. They will go ahead and fill up 1, 2, 3, and so on. All students do is they go back and forth, and they continue to fill up that many cubes in a row. And then once they get to 10, so let's pretend we filled up this whole thing. Let's pretend, because I don't want to waste all your time here. And we've gotten to 12. Let's say we had like 9 and we got 3 more. So 1, 2, 3, pretend this is filled. What they have to do is when they get here, they need to go ahead and stack this 10. So they would have to go ahead, stack them all up. This one's not a full 10. Pretend it's a full 10. And I'll add on to the end so we can see. I think it's 8 or 9. So they would go ahead and be stacked like this. So 10, 11, 12. As students are playing this game, what I like to do is I like to have a couple different things where I will say, everybody freeze. And then where they're frozen, they have to count up what number they have. And when they're telling me their number, I'm looking for them to count the 10s first and then the 1s. So if they have 3 10s and 3 1s, they're saying 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33. If they have 24, I'm looking for 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So I'm just looking for them to recognize all of these numbers, and as they continue to get bigger, they take their physical 1s and stack it into a 10. It's very easy to play, and if I usually put on a 10-minute timer, I will have at least a few students who do get to 50 first. And they're playing against their partner, but we also play as like a whole class. So whoever gets 50, they can shout out like, race to 50, I got to 50. And we can see that they have 1 for the class, and then they just play again as much as they can until the timer is up. And then as we progress through the year and get to higher numbers, students can play Race to 100 with a little bit more time on the timer. But that is just an initial game that I love for getting students to really physically see 10s and 1s. And I like using Unifix cubes instead of our place value blocks or base 10 blocks at the beginning for this, so they can physically feel the numbers and physically stack them to make their 10s. So it's a fun one. All right, now after I teach students all about place value using hands-on games, hands-on activities, and really having them understand what it's like, something else I love to do, of course, is to use IXL. IXL is one of my favorite ways to have students practice fluency with facts and fluency with number sense, both in school and at home. So if you are a parent looking for something to do at home to help your students develop that number sense, IXL is for sure going to work for you. IXL is an online learning program for students in grades K through 12, where teachers or parents can go ahead and assign games, lessons, skills-based, and standards-based activities to their students right through the website. Let me show you how it works. When you go into IXL, there's a couple things I like to assign for my first graders when we're doing place value. First, my favorite place to go is to the textbook section because it aligns directly with the curriculum that I am teaching. So we use Math in Focus, and I go to grade 1, And then currently we are in chapter 6, which is numbers to 40. And these are some ones I've already assigned. So you can see count on the 10 frames up to 40. This one is writing numbers with digits and words. This is the one I had assigned today where we are actually comparing numbers. So when you click on it, you can see how it works. But basically they have some models and it says pick the number that is greater. I also love that it always has this option to read it for students.
Pick the number that is greater.
And then they just find the number that's larger and they submit. Now there's also a fun game that I like to assign to students. So when you get to the game section, you can search by grade level. And this one is called Number Race. Now you can definitely see all the skills. It has what the game is called, and then it'll tell you what they're working on. But if you go down to Number Crash, I think it is, or Number Race, there's a couple different number race options, even numbers, greater than, less than, or odd numbers. But this game called Greater Than Number Race is fun for students to play. It always gives a little blurb down here at the bottom. So what they need to do is identify numbers that are greater than 50. All students do is they try to swipe left and right to steer the vehicle. They can also tap it to jump over things. And they're trying to just collect coins that are over 50. So they don't want to get any coins that are less than 50. That one can be less than, faster, roll them over. And as they collect the coins, it fills up your fuel tank. So that way they can see how far they can get. And when they hit one that's wrong, it tells them that they're wrong. If you want to try out IXL with your own students or your kids at home, IXL is actually offering a free 30-day trial for teachers or an exclusive 25% off for your first month or year if you are a parent. All you need to do is scan the QR code on the screen, or you can go ahead and click the link in the description to check it out. Whether you are a parent or a teacher at home, you can take advantage of IXL's core subjects like math, science, and language arts just by clicking that link in the description. Hello, it's already after school. I'm in my favorite daughter's sweatshirt. The heater's blowing over me. Don't worry about that. Anyway, my second activity that I love for teaching place value is called Mix, Order, and Make. And as you can see, the first one has students really like building and feeling the numbers, making tens, making ones. This one is going to take them from that concrete to the representational, where they're going to be drawing those numbers. And this activity is going to have students comparing and ordering numbers. So 3 different numbers, and you can really differentiate this with numbers within 20, all the way up to within 40, within 120, however high your students are ready to learn. So let me flip this camera around and I'll show you how to do it. This one is a freebie, so I will link it down below for you as well. All right, for this activity, I just place these little sheets here in these little plastic sleeves, whatever you call them. And you're going to get a bunch of little cards that come with the freebie. And there's cards up to 20, cards up to, I think they even go up to 1,000 for my second grade teachers. So you're just gonna mix them up and then you just kind of flip them upside down. Of course, these ones are not gonna be in order. Let's pretend they're all flipped upside down. Then students are just gonna flip 3 at a time. 19, 43, and 46. First, after they mixed up the cards, then they're gonna order them. So I have them put them in order from smallest to biggest. And then this is where I want them to actually draw the numbers underneath with a whiteboard marker. So I'm a mess right now. When I am drawing them, I just show my students to quickly draw the 10 and 9 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4 10s and 3 ones. 43 and 46. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 19, 43, and 46. When they are done, their partner's supposed to check them. And then, or you can either have your partner check them, or I've done it where you can take turns and one student has to order them and the other student has to make them, and then they switch. But then these kind of go off into the used pile. You erase the board and then they flip 3 new cards. 59, 31, and 64. So these cards are the ones that go up to 120. If you wanted to, again, you could make different colors. I have cards that only go up to 20 at first. I have cards that go up to 50, 120, and then all the way into the thousands. So here, again, they would mix them up, order them, and then go ahead and make the numbers down below. For activity 3, I'm going to take you over here to our win station. This is one we're doing in win. We already played this individually during a math block, and then I moved it to a win center so students can play again. Here we have spin and color. Now this game is just as simple as it seems. students will simply spin both spinners, so they'll see how many 10s, 50 plus 3, 53. So when they find 53, they have to find it in this very big grid, color it in, and then their partner goes spin, spin, and then color whatever they land on. Now I always have a bucket when we're doing place value. I always have a bucket of base 10 cubes for them to use. So some of my students are still having trouble kind of just like getting that 50 plus 7 is 57. So I will actually have them build their 10s first when they get it, and then build their 1s and figure out what number it is. It can help them to actually visualize it and see it. And if they're ready to move past these, you can just give them a whiteboard and marker, and they can go ahead and draw them just like we did in our last game too. So 50 plus 7. And this is also in my place value pack, the same one that Race to 50 was in. And students can, we have a board that also goes up to 90. I think it might even go to 100, I'm not sure. But it's like 90 plus whatever with a different grid. So this is the first board that we're using now, which is numbers that go up to 57. All right, for my last two games, I'm gonna go over to my math area and grab my numbers to 120 bucket. Give me a sec. Here's all my math buckets. All right, the last two are in here. One is an addition and subtraction, like adding and subtracting 10s game that we like. And then another is going to be an extension activity. That's like a mystery. That's so fun. Let me flip this and show you. Okay. First, we have 10 more, 10 less cover up. There are two versions of this. This is my higher version from the end of the year last year. I didn't see my other one in here. The other one just has numbers that are smaller, probably within 50, but the game is played the same, so I will show you either way. All students will do is spin the spinner, and then what they have to do, instead of coloring in, if they land on 42, instead of coloring in 42, they have to either add or subtract 10 to that number and color in one of those. So they can either color in 32 or they can color in 52. 32 or 52. If they land on 20, they can color in 10 or they can color in 30. Here they can color in 71 or 91. And they can only color one at a time, so that way no turn is skipped. So if I land on 42 and color in 32, and my partner the very next turn also gets 42, they can still color in 52. So it's just getting them to quickly add or subtract that 10. And again, same with my other game. If they need these cubes here, which some of them do, they go ahead, spin the number and build it. And then I have them either take away a 10 or add a 10 nice and quickly, and then they can see what to color in. All right, and now for the extension, we have Zoe's Zoo Fiasco. These are some fun math mysteries that I have, and I love to give them to some of my higher students to go complete by themselves after we've taught a skill. So this is our place value one, and it is a mystery about I think Zoe is the zookeeper, and she accidentally forgot to lock the cages. So when she goes to school, or not to school, when she goes to the zoo in the morning, she has to figure out which animal belongs in which habitat based on the clues. And here are the clues. So to find Penny's exhibit, for example, this one was done last year, so it's already complete. What you have to do is you have to count up the 10s and the 1s. So this looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 55. And then come down here. 55 is a T. So the right 10. 41, E. 11, N. And we're spelling a word. So not only are we actually identifying all the place value first to be able to fill in the clue, then students have to solve the clue. 10 minus 6. What is 10 minus 6? 4. That is Penny's exhibit. Penny's exhibit is number 4. And here is the little answer key, just so you can see. And there are like physical cards. Oh, here they are. Look at that. I have it all. Oh, and there's exhibit 4. So here are the cards. I have a card for each animal, and then I also have the different exhibits, and they are numbered so they can match them up. So I will put students in pairs usually, and they split up the clues, and every time they solve it, they put it here, and then I check it with the answer key to see if they got it correct. But it's just a fun little activity for them, and they love getting to solve it. This one is 1, 10, and 2 1s, so 12. Oh, this is the same one. Pedro's exhibit, I don't know why I have 2. 2 10s, 20 is Mike's exhibit. Ella's exhibit, the elephant, is 10 plus 6, so 16, and so on. It's super cute. So there are a ton of other games I have in my place value hands-on unit. It looks like this right here that I love. Mix, Order, and Make is a complete freebie for you that I will link down below. These are my math mysteries. I'll link these. And then I also have 2 other fun resources that I like to use a lot. My place value task cards, they look like this. These I will end up putting in a win center in probably next week or the week after for students to keep reviewing place value skills. And then I also have my print and play place value games that look like that I probably won't take out too many of those until we get up to the numbers within 120. But those are just 5 fun and quick games that you can use with your students if you're practicing place value. Like I said, there's so many other fun ones. So if you have other fun activities, link them down below or describe what they are. Or if there's another game that I've shared in the past, just let us know. We love to share ideas around here. As always, I do hope you found this video to be helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up so I know. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel and click that bell. That way you're notified of every new video. See you in the next one. Bye.